I'm building a shipping container house that I designed myself. In this video, I'm going to show you how I opened up the front end by cutting holes for windows and a door in the front end of the great room. Then we did framing and window installation in the end. Before we did any framing work, I did a lot of welding. I welded the top of the bottom container to the bottom of the top container every 4 feet to form a ladder frame structure. Then I also welded steel tubing vertically between windows and a door to give it more structural rigidity. Then I use a laser to mark out where I need to cut the front door as a temporary opening. The temporary front door has enabled me to carry a lot of supplies into the great room. Here I'm taking measurements for the support columns that I will weld in place between the windows. To make sure that the windows between the two floors are lined up perfectly, I bought a telescope to spot the laser lines to ensure that the window openings between the two floors are perfectly aligned. So that saves me from running up and down the stairs to check if the lines are perfectly matching. Then I took my time to outline all the window openings with the assistance of a marker and a laser level. To reinforce the wall on the second floor, I welded two 1-inch steel tubes together, and then I would cut them to length. When I cut them to length, I would cut them just a little bit longer, so that if they need to be shortened a little bit, I can always come back and shorten them a little bit. It might take me a couple of trips to do that, but I'm more than willing to make sure that it is a tight fit. So what I've done today is to put in all the support beams wherever I will cut a hole for a door or a window. I used a grinder to cut all the holes for the windows because there is quite a bit of flammable material around there. I do have a plasma cutter, but to be safe, I decided not to use it. I'm not a regular YouTuber. All I do is set up a camera in the corner of a room while we do work. So I don't have a cameraman, I don't have fancy angles, but what you see is real work happening on my shipping container house. And I don't intend to change that. I'm just really grateful that you guys are watching my videos and asking questions. I do my best to answer the questions. And I hope you enjoy the process that I go through to build a house that is unique. And thank you very much for watching. For framing, I found a great crew. They not only worked on the front end of this house, but also they did the framing for the rest of the house. They are really hardworking and they are very cooperative. They were part of the roofing crew who did a great job with the roof. So I've reached out to them and they have been working with me on the framing for the rest of the house. I can do a little bit of framing myself, but the scale of the house requires really efficient framers. So I'm just really glad that they are working with me on the house. This may be a little difficult to explain, but I will give it a try. I will do a window installation video down the road. I designed the window openings to be 3 inches taller and 3 inches wider than the required rough opening for all the windows. The purpose is to insert a layer of 2x6 in the rough opening when the framing is all done, such that the 2x6 would actually stick out of the shipping container corrugated walls so that the windows can be then nailed to these 2x6 pieces. Here you can see the framers inserting the 2x6 lumber into the 2x4 framing openings. We then install the windows, and then we tape everything up to seal all the gaps and the seams so that it is watertight and airtight. Eventually, spray foam insulation will take care of all the insulation, any kind of gap that would exist surrounding the windows and the doors. The framers did a great job installing the windows that day, but we didn't install the front door because it's going to be a hole for a while, although I did take delivery of the front door.
The medieval double doors here, it says Fragile.
Ah, Fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that says fragile, honey.
Oh, yeah.
So that is pretty much the work of the front end, and here are some pictures of the long history of this front end. Thank you for watching.